Hi there. This is about how to plan a menu, and I'm going to give you the secrets of planning a great menu for your event that your guests will talk about for years to come. Hi, I'm Gillian with Caribbean Caterers, and let's jump right into it. Now, most people are familiar with the plated style of service or the buffet style of service, but there are other styles of service, and in each of those that people are familiar with, there are many types of variations that you can have as well that change again the experience that your guests are going to have. Now, there is some source of confusion out there, and let's listen up carefully here. People talk about a seated meal and they tell me, oh, I don't want to have a seated meal, I want to have a buffet. Well, they're mixing up seating style with service style because you can have a seated affair and still have a buffet. So let's think about that. You can seat all your guests and have a plated style of service, or you can seat all your guests and have a buffet style of service. So let's talk about the plated style of service, which always is fully seated. In the plated style of service, you have a few options there. You can have your guests make a choice of entree, and you do so via your RSVP card, or nowadays, of course, because everything is electronic, you can do an electronic poll where they've determined, you've given them their options and they've selected their options for your party. So that's the choice of option where you, as the host, will pick. In this case, on the choice, you usually pick 4 proteins like chicken, seafood, red meat like a beef or a lamb also, and or vegetarian. So you can have all 4 of those as categories for your guests to choose. And we will have each of those entrees available for your guests in that case. The next variation in your plated is to have a single entree where you just choose the one entree that everybody is going to get. That's typical if you know your guests very well. It's typical if you're having maybe a smaller event that you can choose one thing that everybody would enjoy. It's typical if you're having a corporate style event where maybe the meal is not the main event and it's sort of incidental, and you can choose one thing that everybody would enjoy. Another option where you would make a choice is a dual entree. This is where you have 2 entrees on the one dinner plate. And so you can choose. You can choose, say, a chicken and a seafood, or a chicken and a meat, or a meat and a seafood. So you can choose any 2 entrees and then add those sides. And again, everyone gets the same plate. Now, here at Caribbean Caterers, what we do is that's what we offer to your large amount of guests, but we will allow you to make some exceptions for those people who maybe don't eat seafood will get a double portion of the chicken, or those people who don't eat the red meat may get a double portion of the seafood. And in either of the 2 options, we would do a vegetarian option. So you needn't worry that guests who are vegetarian, even if you chose a dual entree, their needs would not be met. As a matter of fact, having started as a vegetarian restaurant in the Caribbean decades ago, vegetarianism and veganism is very close and dear to our hearts. So of course, it's not just vegan and vegetarian. There may be some gluten-free, there may be some lactose intolerant. And so what we do in a case like that is to make sure that the rest of the menu doesn't have any of those items so that all your guests could eat very confident. And so that's the plated options that you can do. And again, with the plated options, the seating style will always be full seating. And so we've talked for a while here, and I believe we will stop right now and stay tuned for another section that will tell you a little bit more now for each of the service styles, what types of foods, how you can put together the foods to suit those service styles. So again, this is Gillian with Caribbean Caterers. I'll see you soon.